In today's episode we'll be creating a basic twin screen stage set in SketchUp. Now there's two types of SketchUp. There's the online version and the offline version. In today's episode we'll be creating the stage set in the online version. The online version is great because you can use it from any PC anywhere in the world. Just log on, all your files are there ready to go, and it's free. The downside is there's quite a few restrictions on there, so for the purposes of creating a basic stage set it's absolutely fine. So if you just log on to SketchUp and sign up, then eventually it should take you to this screen here. So let's start modelling. Okay, here we go. So this is the orbit tool, quite an important tool. I use it quite a lot. If you just click on there, hold your finger down on the button on the mouse and just scroll around the axis. Now I'm using a mouse which has a scroll wheel, which is really helpful because you can just scroll in and out, zoom in and out using the wheel, which I use quite a lot. If you don't have a wheel on your mouse, then you can use the magnifying glass here. So the zoom window allows you to just zoom into an area, or you can click on the magnifying glass, hold your finger down and move in and out like that. Or we've got zoom extents here, so you just click on, sorry, this one here, click on there and it just goes, it zooms out to the furthest you can go. So let's get creating our stage set. So I'm going to click on the rectangle tool first, and to create a back wall, kind of just snaps into this into the axis here. Just click once and then just move the mouse. So I'm not holding the button down, I'm just moving the mouse quite freely, and then I'm simply going to type in the measurements. So you'll see down here the dimensions, but it's quite difficult to get it accurate if you just use this tool on its own. So I'm just going to simply type in the measurements. So let's go for a 40 foot by 12 foot set. So I've typed in 40 foot, the foot sign, which I think is apostrophe, comma, space 12 apostrophe, and then hit return. Zoom extent, and there we have our main back wall. So we need to create a screen. Let's go for 12 foot twin screens. So I'm going to click on the measuring tape measure here. It kind of snaps to the edge of the wall here. So click once and then move quite freely, move the measuring tape over, and then I simply type in how far I want the measuring tape to go over. So I'm going to type 4 foot. So that's, we've got a 4 foot panel there. Then do the same again to create the screen itself. So that's 12 foot. Then we need a header. So I just put the tape measure at the top of the set, pull it down again quite loose, then 6 inch. So I'm typing 6 inch into the keyboard and hitting return. That's all I'm doing. And then the bottom of the screen, so 12 foot 69 ratio, so that's 12 divided by 16 times 9, I think is 6 feet and 9 inches. So I've typed 6 foot 9 inches there into the bottom. Alternatively, you could type 6.75 foot like that. It's the same thing. Go back to the rectangle, just hover over the intersection, click button once and pull it down to the other side, click button again, and there we've got our screen. Back to the tape measure tool to create our second screen. Exactly the same method. Go to the edge, click once, pull it along, I type 4 foot return, then I do the same 12 foot return, and there we've got our screen. We've already got the 6-inch header and the footer. I hit the rectangle again, place it in the corner, drag it down. There we go. That's our 2 screens. So I'm just going to delete these markers now. We don't really need them anymore. So you just click on them, highlight them in blue, and hit the delete button. So as you can see, it's quite thin. That's not very realistic at all. So we need to give it a bit of depth. So we've got this tool here called the push pull tool, which is a fantastic tool. Just hover over the area that you want to pull. Click it once and just pull it or push it. So I'm going to put it out here, and then I'm going to simply type, just as we did before, simply type let's make it 50 millimeters, so 50 mm, 50 millimeters, return. Back to the orbit tool. So as you can see, it's gave it a bit of thickness there. And the screens, because I've not pulled the screens, they've stayed back, so that's quite as it would be in real life, really. So let's give it some returns. Sorry, Deborah, you've got to go. So there's a number of ways of creating returns, but we're going to use the tape measure tool again. So click on the tape measure, just as we did before, we'll move it away from the edge. I'll type in 50 millimeters for the thickness of the panel. I'll do the same this end. 50 millimeters. Then I'm going to hit the line tool, zoom in a bit, click on the top there and drag it down to the bottom and click again. Then I'm going to hit the pull tool and put it out and give it a 4 foot return, so I'll type in 4 foot and hit return. And do exactly the same over here. Hit the line tool, might have to zoom in a bit to get it on the button, and click there, and do the same again, pull it out, 4 foot return. There we go. So we've got our returns. I'm just going to delete these lines again. Now there's a pretty good function over here, views. So this allows you to snap to different views of the set. So you can go to the front, to the side, the ISO, the top there. And you can also create scenes as well. So if you get the set to where you want it to be, you can use the hand tool here as well to move it around left and right, up and down, and then zoom in and out. So I want the set there, and then I click the plus sign. So on the views tool, click the plus sign, add scene, just wait a while, and there's your scene, and you can name that front view. And I'll show you why that's quite useful in a moment, because we'll add some more scenes. So now we need to create our stage. just going to go back to the orbit. I'm just going to look above, and once again select the rectangle tool. Now I think our staging is in meters, so let's make this 16 meters by space by 3 meters. That's a bit big. Control Z, get rid of that. Let's go for 12 meters by, so 12 m comma space 3 meter. So I'm going to do it a bit further out. So once again, it's a little bit flat, so we need to use the push-pull tool. Just hover over it and pull it up. Let's go to 300 millimeters. Just simply type that in, hit return, and there we have our stage. Now we need to move our stage into position. If we do that, it goes a bit skew with. So what we need to do is make group all the components together. So click on the select tool, and you can either select the entire component like that, or you can just triple click 1, 2, 3 and it selects everything. Then right click and make group. So I'll do the same here, 1, 2, 3, make group. So that allows you to select on each component without pulling all the parts around. So I'm going to a move tool, and we're just going to move that roughly into place. There we go, that's our basic twin screen set. So let's add a little bit of colour to it. So I'm going to go to the colour tool, paint. It shows these are the colours that are already in there. That's probably the colours that Deborah was. That's her dress colour. So we need more. So we go to browse, and we've got various textures here. So if I just go to colours for now, let's make our set slight grey. But I want our screens to be a little bit different colour, so I'll select in the screen area there. So I triple select, that's the grouped component, but if you triple click again, it breaks it down and goes into the component itself. Now select the screen, hold the control button down and select the other side, and I'm just going to make that, I'll just keep it as a white. And I'll click back out of it again. For the stage top, so I triple click again, 1, 2, 3. Then I click just once again, just so I've selected the top and not the fascias or the upfronts, whatever you call them. Go into carpet, we've got some carpet here. I think that's grey carpet there. So there we've got our grey carpet top staging. Now let's colour the fascias. So click the side of the fascia, hold the control button down, click the other side, click orbit, swing it around, click select, hit my control down again. So I've selected all 3 sides of the stage. I'll just give that a black colour. So there you go. So So that brings us back to the front again. There's our twin screen set with our lovely returns. So let's add a couple of steps to it. So similar thing really. Let's create just a single step for this one. So let's go 4 foot wide by, so 4 foot comma space by 1 foot. Orbit round, just zoom in a bit and pull it up. Let's say 150 millimeters. So I want to give it a colour, so I can use this tool here, the dropper tool. So I'll just click on there and it goes straight to the carpet tool. Click again there. Orbit round. Get the fascias on there. So there's our step. So I want to move that into place, so I'm going to make that a component as well. I'll select the whole thing there and make group. And let's move that into place. Let's get it roughly into place. And let's say I want 2 steps, so I'll just click on the step. I'll do Control copy, Control V, and then we have our second step, which I'll place over there. Isn't that nice? So now we need a lectern. Now the great thing about SketchUp is there's a whole online virtual warehouse of equipment that people have created all around the world and shared. So for basic lectern, we can simply go to click on materials here, not materials, no, that's the wrong thing. So 3D warehouse, so yeah, components, and then 3D warehouse, and then type truss lectern, hit return, and we have some truss lecterns come up. So we can click on this chap here. You selected a pretty big model. Download this component might slow down. Yeah, okay, I'll take the chance. Just wait a moment. Hey, there he is. Just click into place. So there we have a basic stage set with a chap at the lectern. Now if you want to check measurements, if you just click on dimensions, and just snaps into place, so pull that over, click once, click again, so there's our 40 foot. There's our 12 foot screen, 16.9, 6 foot 9 inch height screen there. We can also add in comments or notes, so I can type in, click there and type in 6 inch header, some returns there, grey felt. Oh, damn it. So you can do that sort of thing anyway. and we go back to our views. That's our front view, and then we can create some different views as well. So let's get that into place. Now the pretty cool thing with the views, we can create scenes. So we add a scene there, wait for that to come up. So there's scene 2, let's call it side cam. So click on the front view, then the side cam. But the other cool thing is we can hide these. If I just hold my control button down and click on all of these notes and dimensions and click hide, then update this scene. So update scene. Okay. So now we can do that. So it's got all of our notes and dimensions there, or click on there, they will disappear and it goes to a different angle. Or I can even make this chap, so I can go to front view and hide this chap here, update that. So we go to scene 2, scene 1. And you can create, I think, as many scenes as you like and play the scenes as an animation. So I think that's it. That creates our basic stage set. Have an experiment, mess around a bit, and yeah, send your designs over. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what you can do. I don't normally use the online version, so I believe, let's just try and save it. Save, export. So I can export that as a PNG. Change the pixels if you like, export as PNG. So there you have it, that's our basic SketchUp model.